Well, that is where the OSI model comes into play. Okay, so if you were thinking to yourself, this is supposed to be a lesson on the OSI model, and Ed's here rambling on and on about protocols, and what does it have to do with it? Well, this is exactly what it has to do with it. Back in the 1970s, the ISO, which most people commonly will refer to the ISO as the International Standards Organization, because that's the way the letters are. Technically, they're the International Organization for Standardization. Not real certain why the letters were switched. But regardless, this group created something called the OSI, which stands for Open Systems Interconnection Reference Model. And the reason they did this was to define the basic standards for network communication. Okay, so whereas we were just talking about if you want to send a letter, no matter what carrier you want to use, there are certain standards that all carriers are going to have some form of. Well, that's what the OSI model does for computer networking. No matter what networking protocol you want to communicate with, you're going to have to at least follow the standards that are defined in this thing called the OSI model. Now, in order to truly understand the OSI model, you need to start off real generic. And that first level of generic understanding is just knowing what the layers are, meaning just knowing the names. Okay, so just before you do anything else when it comes to the OSI model, you have to know that there are 7 layers and you have to know what their names are. Okay, and I have them listed here: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. Now, if you're frantically writing this down, or maybe you've taken a screen capture, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, and you're trying to quickly memorize these, I'm going to try to make this a little bit easier for you. What a lot of people do to remember these 7 layers of the OSI model is to just take the first letter of each of the layers. Okay, so we have A, P, S, T, N, D, P, and then create a saying that uses those letters, something that's easy to remember. And one of the original sayings that was out there when this first started being taught, and one of the most common ones that you see out there even to this day, is all people seem to need data processing. I mean, is that an easy statement for you to remember? All people seem to need data processing. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Well, if it's not, how about another one? And this one actually goes from the bottom up. Okay, we start with the physical layer and go towards application. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. That's a fun one because it has nothing to do with technology. It's about pizza. Well, if neither of those work for you, here's a few more that I found out there, and there's plenty more. But what do we have? A priest saw 2 nuns doing push-ups. All people should try new Diet Pepsi. Or again, a couple more from the bottom up. Please do not take salespeople's advice. And please do not tease stupid party animals. Honestly, I don't care what saying you use. Come up with your own if you want. But one way or another, you have to remember those 7 letters. And with just a little bit of studying, a little bit of practice, looking at the names of the layers, you'll remember that those letters actually stand for other names.